Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you, and it looks like we're going to be doing another update on another Filipino Coast Guard vessel coming under harassment by the Chinese Coast Guard. As you can see here in the video, two Chinese Coast Guard vessels harassing a Filipino Coast Guard vessel, and apparently there was two Filipino Coast Guard vessels involved this time. I don't know if it was two that were harassed, but one of them definitely here coming under attack by some water cannons once again. And this has happened, I want to say, somewhere between 3 and 5 times over the last, let's say, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And I reported on this just about a month ago. And we had the president of the Philippines coming out and saying they were not going to be putting up with this anymore. They were going to start putting their foot down and doing something about this. We haven't seen any kind of action as of yet, but it looks like once again the Filipino Coast Guard is just allowing this to happen. And apparently as well, during this event when they were spraying these water cannons, we've got video footage where they actually collided with one of the boats, or the Filipino Coast Guard collided with one of the Chinese Coast Guard vessels, and they were trying to spray their radar equipment and destroy their radar equipment, spraying their windows. We had reports just in the last few months too, where the Chinese Coast Guard was spraying into the boats of these Filipino Coast Guard, and they were destroying their windows, and some people were being injured by the water cannons, because it may not look like it in the video, but these water cannons are very powerful, okay? They can easily bust out windows and destroy things on board. And obviously, water is a very powerful force, so if it has enough pressure behind it, it can definitely do some damage. So we have a picture here. Here's a picture from one of the Filipino Coast Guard vessels. There's a railing there that was completely split in half. It was bent and then split in half from that water pressure, okay? There's also another picture. I was trying to find it. I think there was one with like an awning or something. There's like an awning or like a little roof that was kind of destroyed on the boat as well. And again, we'll be showing you some footage here in just a moment, showing like a really close-up shot of the Chinese Coast Guard spraying their water cannons at the radar on top of a Filipino Coast Guard vessel. So before we go into that, I'm going to talk about this a little bit on NBC News, okay? Let you know what's going on here. So it says Philippines accuses China of damaging its vessel at hotly contested shoal. So it says the Philippine Coast Guard said its two vessels stood their ground at the Scarborough Shoal, which this right here, Scarborough Shoal, okay? But that one was damaged from the use of water cannons by two Chinese Coast Guard ships, which we saw there in the video. So the Scarborough Shoal is apparently like a major shipping area. There's like an island there, and there's shipping and also, fishing. Excuse me, fishing. So they do a lot of fishing there, the Philippines do. And so the Filipino Coast Guard goes over there to this area to help those people out, the fishermen that are over there, provide them aid, whatever they might need. And then they bring a lot of those fish back to their country, okay? It's a lot of food supply for them. And again, there's a lot of shipping that travels in this area too. So the Scarborough Shoal is supposedly a region that falls under what they call the Philippines Exclusive Economic Zone. And also this area is not really contested by anybody. It's not really owned by anyone. No one has any sovereignty over this land or over this region. So that's kind of the issue here, is China's claiming it's part of their zone, like their waterway. And then the Philippines saying, no, it's nobody's, it's nobody's land. It's nobody's waterways. It's everybody's. It's open to anyone. So there's a lot of disputes going on here. So it says the Philippines on Tuesday accused China's Coast Guard of harassment and damaging one of its boats in a disputed area of the South China Sea, and rejected Beijing's position that it had expelled two vessels from the hotly contested shoal. The Philippine Coast Guard said its two vessels stood their ground at the Scarborough Shoal, a key battleground in the South China Sea, but that one sustained damage from use of water cannons by two Chinese Coast Guard ships. This damage serves as evidence of the forceful water pressure used by the Chinese Coast Guard in their harassment of the Philippine vessels, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Jay Tariella said in a statement. They were not deterred and will persist in carrying out their legitimate operations to support Filipino fishermen and ensure their safety. No country has sovereignty over the strategically located Scarborough Shoal, a prime fishing patch used by several countries that is close to major shipping lanes. The shoal falls inside the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. So again, that's some information about the Scarborough Shoal that the Philippines is saying, well, they shouldn't be harassing us over here. This is nobody's, nobody's land. No one has any sovereignty over this Scarborough Shoal. And this fishing patch is being used by several countries, it says here. So, why are they harassing them? So obviously there's some major tensions here between these two countries. And then we also had, I think it was Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, heading over to the Philippines just about a month ago and saying that their support for the Philippines was ironclad, that the United States would back the Philippines if anything were to happen, because obviously tensions are getting very high over here in this region. So China has occupied the atoll for more than a decade, and waters around its lagoon, which has long been a sanctuary for vessels during storms, have been the site of multiple confrontations in recent years. China's Coast Guard says the vessels had been expelled but did not provide details of the incident. The Philippines' Tadiela and its vessel, the BRP Bagakay, suffered damage to its railing and canopy. That's what it was, the canopy, so not the awning earlier. There's like a picture of a canopy. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to find it again. I was only able to get that railing for you. But a canopy got damaged as well. And that China had installed a floating barrier at the shoal's entrance, effectively restricting access to the area. So that was another big thing. Yeah, apparently China had put a barrier at the shoal's entrance here. So definitely China's like, you're not coming over here. This is our land. This is our region. You're not supposed to be here. And it's crazy what's happening over here. Two countries have traded accusations of illegal conduct at the shoal, and the Philippines recently summoned a Chinese diplomat to explain what it calls aggressive maneuvers. China typically accuses the Philippines of encroaching on its territory. China and the Philippines previously said they would seek better communications and management around skirmishes in the vast South China Sea, but tensions have increased recently as the Philippines forces forges stronger diplomatic and military ties with its ally, the United States. So just like what I was talking about, the ironclad statement from Blinken. So China claims sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, a conduit for more than $3 trillion of annual shipborne commerce, including parts claimed by the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. Is it Brunei, I think? The Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016 said China's expansive claim had no legal basis, a decision Beijing has rejected. So see, it's obviously a very hotly contested region that, neither side wants to say it's really theirs or say it's not theirs, I guess I should say. But the Philippines is saying, hey, this is basically international zones where anybody can come here, that multiple countries participate in those regions, especially near the Scarborough Shoal. But again, China claims a large portion of the South China Sea as their own, although as far as I know, it's not actually their land, recognized by the world and things like that. But I'll have to go and look into that some more for you. But at the end of the day, it's these kind of situations are not good, and what we're seeing is major heightened tensions in this region. And hopefully this doesn't lead to something major. This is continuing to happen for the last few months now. And, we've already had people that were injured. Several Filipino Coast Guard members were injured, I think, in the last harassment attack. And now we're seeing the same thing again. And as far as I know, no one was injured by these water cannons this time. But still, at the end of the day, it's definitely not creating peace. It's creating more tension. So finally, I want to show you this. This is a video real quick that Kamatayan posted on X. It says, watch, disputes over South China Sea and West Philippine Sea. China Coast Guard vessel collided with and intentionally aimed their water cannons to destroy the radar and communications antennas at Philippine vessel BRP Datu Bangka near Scarborough Shoal, Tuesday, April 30th. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. It's like 30 seconds long.
Bangka! Stop!
So there you go, just a quick 30-second clip. But as you can see in this video, they do collide here briefly. Okay, they kind of scuff up against each other here. And then also you can see they're spraying their radar equipment up here and some other, I don't know what other equipment they would have on top. But there was something there on top that just got blown off, I think. Looked like there was a cover there and that got blasted off. And then this radar that's spinning here, so they got their own up there on the Chinese vessel. They're deliberately spraying that thing to destroy it. Okay, so they're just trying to do whatever they can to deter the Philippine Coast Guard from coming over here. Now, I'm not going to stand for either side and say whether, China or the Philippines is in the right here. But at the end of the day, these two countries are getting very, very close to some sort of clash, some sort of major clash here. And it's starting with these water cannons and these boats ramming into each other. So definitely not good what we're seeing. This is the second time, I believe, maybe third time that I've reported on this situation over here. And I kind of thought it was over with for the most part. But then again, like I said, just about a month ago, the president of the Philippines was coming out and saying that they were going to start taking action. Okay, they were going to put their foot down and say we're not going to back down to China. That the Philippines doesn't do that. They're not the type to back down. But I'm really surprised that we haven't seen the Philippines doing the same thing back. I'm sure they've got to have water cannons on their boats too. I haven't seen any, but I would think they have water cannons on their boats as well. And why are they not doing it back to China? Isn't that crazy just to see that China will just continue to bully them like that with these water cannons, but they don't really do anything back. They just allow it to happen. So, I'm sure a large part of it is they're trying not to provoke anything here too, though, right? So, yeah, let me know what you think down below, though. That's going to be it for this update. I'm sure we'll have more information coming out on this soon, but that's the latest for you. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.